Hey guys, today we're going to read The Little Fireman by Margaret Wise Brown and illustrated by Esper Slobodkina. Once upon a time, there was a great big fireman, and once upon a time, there was a little fireman. They lived in two firehouses right next door to each other. One fireman had a big black and white Dalmatian puppy dog who ran behind his fire engine to all the fires. And the other fireman had a very little black and white Dalmatian puppy dog who ran to all the fires behind his little fire engine. One night, the two firemen were sleeping in their houses, and the Dalmatian puppy dogs were sleeping under their fire engines. When clang went the loud ringing noise of the fire gong in the big house, and cling went the little ringing noise of the fire gong in the little fireman's house. Bow wow, barked the big Dalmatian dog. Yip yip yip, barked the little Dalmatian dog. Fire, 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 called the people in the streets. Then out of the big firehouse came the big fireman with his big fire engine and his big Dalmatian dog running behind him. And from the little firehouse came the little fireman with his little puppy dog running behind him. Clang, 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 cling, cling, cling. And down the street a couple of blocks, and down the street to the right, there was a great big house fire. When the big fireman got there, he said, "Ho, ho, what a fine big roaring fire." But when the little fireman got there, he said, oh dear, that fire is too big for me." And then down the street 2 blocks and a block on the left, he saw a very little house on fire. So cling, 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 off he went down the street to the little fire. And there in the windows of the little house were 15 little ladies calling, "Help, help!" And they all jumped out of the windows to the little fireman who caught them in his little net. At the big fire, there were 15 big ladies in the windows, and they all jumped out, and the big fireman caught him in his big net. When the big fire was all splashed out with water, and when the little fire was all splashed out with water, the 2 firemen jumped in their fire engines and went home with the Dalmatian puppy dogs running behind them. The big fireman ate a great big mutton chop with a great big dish of pink ice cream, and then he jumped into bed and went right to sleep. And the little fireman ate a very little mutton chop and a very little dish of pink ice cream before he jumped into bed and went to sleep. And the great big fireman dreamed a very little dream. And the little fireman dreamed a great big dream. The end.